Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
We are live. Hey, Demi.
Hey, Conti. How are you? So happy to have you back. So happy to have you back. Welcome to Dating Differently with Demi.
I'm Dr. Conti, and I am glad to be back. I missed you. I missed being here last week.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here because today we are talking about give me strength. Give
Mm,
me strength.
hmm What does
Give,
that mean? What are you talking about?
well, in dating, you absolutely need that. What kind of strength do we need when we're dating? I think most people think about we need the strength to go find someone or just the effort that you have to put into. But I think you actually just need strength to handle rejection,
Mm, mm,
resist settling,
mm.
show restraint.
Okay.
Last week we talked about maintaining boundaries.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that today.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about that today. So I'm going to point it out to you, Conti.
Mm-hmm.
You always say that dating is data. And one of the biggest mistakes that people make is turning every dating interaction into the judgment of their worth.
Mm,
But how do we, and I want to throw this to you because you weren't with us last week.
mm-hmm.
How do we find strength just to maintain our boundaries? Let's kind of recap a little bit on that and then move into today because it overlaps.
Well, I one of the things that I often talk about when it comes to boundaries is not even maintaining them; it's executing them. So many people have problems executing them. I think I did listen in last week, and you and Dr. Robert was talking about. He mentioned something about the time that he actually slipped. Well, most people do.
Yeah.
Most people slip because the boundaries is a part of being healthy, and it's kind of like putting the horse before the cart. When you're saying I have boundaries and I am executing my boundaries, yet you haven't truly healed. And it's really hard to stick to boundaries or execute boundaries if you haven't learned your worth, if you haven't learned not to, like you say, have that strength to walk away,
Yeah.
have that strength to not settle, and have that strength to wait for what's good for you and what aligns with what you want in your life. If you haven't worked on those things, it's really hard to execute boundaries.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean, I mean, we've all been there. So
Absolutely.
yeah, we've all been there. So that's no judgment. That just means there's still healing to do. That's what lets you know there is still some healing I have to do, because every time I say I'm not going to do something or I'm going to execute these boundaries, and Mr. Cute or Miss Cute, Blow Joe, Miss Joe, whatever come by, and those boundaries go right out of the window, that's an indication that there's still some healing and growing that needs to be done.
I was just telling you about one of the things is really the strength to build confidence
Mm-hmm,
somewhere else
mm-hmm,
outside of dating. Uh,
mm-hmm.
for me, that's the biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
I want the listeners to have too, because you really, I mean, you talked about the boundaries. We talked about it's new. We know that we talk to those that have been married a long time, are now
Mm-hmm,
divorced, empty nesters, right? So maybe you were single and now you're an empty nester. It's just been a long time since you dated. And
mm-hmm,
we all know about that empty side of the bed. It's real. We know the silence is real. We know loneliness is real.
mm-hmm,
But what we don't want to do is have another person fulfill a void that we have. Because you just mentioned healthy. One of the things you always talk about is, we're the cake, right? And we should be looking for that frosting. But how do you become the cake? How do
mm-hmm,
you become the cake? And to me, one of those things is you build that confidence by hobbies outside of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you're confident, to me, you build confidence through you. For me, I found golf in
Mm-hmm.
the middle of a little bit of turmoil in my life. That
Mm-hmm.
was something I got to focus on. That was something I got to learn, and I got better at it.
Right.
And it took up a lot of my focus. I always talk about the physical activities, but I always tell people, make a commitment or set a goal to read a book, to
Mm-hmm.
volunteer, do something that brings you joy and happiness, anything that creates those accomplishments and that confidence outside of wanting to look for someone to fill that void outside of work, because a lot of us are really successful in what we do. But what would you say are some of the things that people do to help become the cake and know that they are?
Well, one of my Kantiology statements is self-discovery is the best recovery.
Yeah.
And it kind of go in line with what you just said about discovering who you are. Discover you can't have you can't be what you don't see. And everything that you think you want, you got to become it yourself. And so how do you become that if you don't even know what you are or who you are or what you like, particularly if you're someone who's been in bad relationships and having bad relationship patterns, then you may not know exactly who you are. So take that time. Self-discovery is the best recovery. The more you discover about you, the better you're going to recover and become who you want to be. And becoming that cake is a part of putting all those ingredients together. The problem is, many of us want to put the icing on before we have the eggs in. We don't have the cake is not going to even bake good because you're missing ingredients. You're missing vital main ingredients because you want to have that icing. So take the time, discover who you are, discover what you like, discover what you don't like, because we've all changed. Like you said, we're talking to empty nesters, we're talking to second time arounders, we're talking to widowers, so you're different. We all grow and we change. So the you that you thought you were years ago, that may not be you anymore. I found out throughout, speaking of self-discovery,
Yeah.
as outgoing as I am and as much of an extrovert as I am, during the pandemic, Demi, I found out I'm a homebody. So you might say, well, how does that work? That's an oxymoron, Dr. Conti. How can you be a homebody and an extrovert? But I am. I enjoy being home. I didn't have to leave. It was driving people crazy, and I enjoyed every bit of staying inside. So a part of becoming the cake, meaning having, building that confidence, building the ingredients that you need for your life, is discovering who you are, being true to who you are, walking in you are who you are, standing on the 10 toes down, all of that.
Yeah. So why do people seek validation through dating when they're hurting?
Well, society says that if society has white picket fence, a
Yeah.
beautiful house, 2.1 kids and a dog. So a lot of times we as humans, it's human nature to feel like there's something missing. If I don't have that partner, there's something missing. Sometimes if I don't have a child, there's something missing. So we look for those things to validate us that society says makes you complete, makes you whole. But that's not necessarily the case. But again, once you become good with who you are and true to who you are, then you're okay. And you realize that my validation does not come from my job. My validation does not come from if I'm dating someone, if I'm single, if I'm married. God said you belong to God and you're his. So first of all, I mean, that's me. Y'all know I'm all day minister, so I'm gonna go there a little bit. But once you know your true worth, whose you are and who you are and whose you are, it doesn't matter that that person didn't click on your profile or that person didn't call you back quick enough. It's one of those things that you have to get to the point where you say, well, they're lost. What's for you is going to be for you. Hey, everybody, welcome. I see some people popping on. Let us know that you're here. Just say hi. We really cannot see who all is on here. unless you just say hi to her. So say hello. Hello, Daddy Miller Smith, and hello, Sister Tremaine
Oh,
Jones.
all right. So, we always we're talking about give me strength, right?
Mhm,
And we always say that dating is data. And so, kind of going back into that, now the biggest thing is doing things online or dating online. And one of the biggest things that we've talked about in the past is turning every dating interaction into a judgment of your worth. You
mm,
know, let's say you like someone's profile
mhm,
and they don't match back,
mhm,
right? No response.
mhm,
They maybe you've matched and it shows you're a match and days go by and they don't respond or before they respond, right?
mhm,
Or you have a great conversation, great texting, and then the conversation itself doesn't doesn't kind of transfer over to that. You have a
mhm,
great meet and greet, you have a great conversation, and then nothing. So immediately I know your mind can go to, what's wrong with me?
mhm,
Give me the strength, right? And
mhm.
so I always say, nothing, absolutely nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. Not every response, like you said, is rejection. You
Mhm.
always say rejection is a form of protection in
That's
something,
right.
right?
That's it. Yeah, God could be protecting you. Don't
Right.
take it personally.
And sometimes people are busy and sometimes they're distracted and sometimes they're talking to a lot of other people. And that's what goes back to
Mhm.
I want and what we're asking or what we're wanting for all of you today is to have strength during those times.
Let me say this too, Demi.
Mhm.
How about sometimes they're just gathering information? Remember, that's the whole point. And
Yeah.
how about maybe the one time y'all talked or the one time they looked at your profile, they matched, but they looked and they gathered information that that's not the person that they're looking for. Just like you should be doing. You
Mm.
should be gathering information. So trust me, there's times that I've matched with people and they don't hear back from me because I've gathered the information and in the information I realized this is not something that is aligning with what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So that's not a problem. That's not a bad thing. It's not a you thing. It's not a personal thing. And again, you're going to need strength in today's type of dating. Dating is not like it was back in the old days. Back in the old days. Imagine we have
I
a
would
little.
say 1986 is not like dating in 2026. And you just said it. It's like, give us strength not to start settling or
That's
not to start rethinking maybe the age brackets, maybe the different restrictions, maybe,
too
um,
old.
right, or start feeling discouraged because suddenly we're considering people we would have never, ever, ever considered before. And I am not talking about height and weight or what someone does on a job. I'm talking about the character of a person.
Right. I want to ask you all a question. The today's topic is give me strength.
Mhm.
What if you could think of something? What is it in the dating arena or world right now that's going on that you personally feel like, if you're watching, you need strength in? Let's have a little interaction. We're going to keep talking, but I want to hear some of the things that you feel like, oh Lord, give me strength. The patience. You need strength. You need strength for the patience because there's so many buffooneries going on. Strength to keep moving forward. I, I want to challenge everybody to have strength to change your patterns because a lot of times it's unhealthy patterns. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily that there's a lot of wrong people out there. It could also be that we are approaching them the wrong way. Our patterns haven't changed. We start off still too quick. We start off still too using too much intimacy.
Yeah.
We start off still giving too much access. Or we start off not giving no access. The people don't even know you like them.
And that has happened before. I think I asked somebody, I was like, "Oh, you like me? I didn't even know it."
Good, good. Gabrielle said discernment. Give me strength for discernment. That's a good one. That's
Yeah,
a real good one.
yeah.
Discernment. because it's a lot of, again, tricksters out here.
Yeah.
Dr. Robert, good to see you. Thanks for filling in for me last week. He says strength not to be apprehensive, to be vulnerable when you know it's right. Ooh, I like that. That's good. That's good, because when you've gone through so much that's wrong, and you pray for right, if you finally get right, you got to have the strength to trust God in the discernment that this is right. So there's a lot. Cool. Anybody else? What do you need strength for in your dating process right now? And then I'm gonna swing it back to you, Demi. I just want to throw that in there.
I think that's a perfect question. Mm-hmm. And that really goes back to in life. And give me strength. I just have to say, give me strength not to ignore the person, or not to ignore that we're not compatible. Just because I enjoy the attention. That's what I would say.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna swing from that. You say, give me strength to know when we're not compatible.
Just because I enjoy the attention.
Because you enjoy the attention. And I'm going to say, give whoever it is, I'm being prophetic now. Speak to me, Lord. Give whoever it is the strength to know the difference from attention, Demi, and intention.
Yeah.
Because you can have some people who are giving you a lot of attention because they want access. But let grief start happening, or you have a hard family problem or issue, or let something happen, and then they're not there because they're not trying to have intention. Their intentions weren't right. Their intentions weren't to be there for you in the long haul. Their intentions weren't to be there to be supportive. It was just attention to get what they want.
So I'm gonna add on top of that, give me strength, really, that when I do find that right person, that I don't forget about the others in my life.
Ooh, y'all gonna make me get my tear. Yes. First of all, I gotta say something about that. First of all, yes,
I knew you would. I knew you would.
Yes. You cannot abandon yourself for anybody. That is not healthy, to abandon yourself. You cannot have put all those ingredients in the cake, and then the icing come, and you just abandon yourself and the cake and those ingredients, that hard work that you put in. And anybody that, I say healthy attract healthy, sick attract sick. Anybody that is healthy would not expect for you to. And the minute you decide, oh, I'm gonna take a girlfriend trip, my sisters and I take sisters trips all the time. I'm gonna take a sister trip. And if there becomes a problem, then therein lies a problem. If someone wants you to abandon your life, yourself, the other habits, hobbies, and things that you enjoy because you are in a relationship. Now, yes, you do have to still put the effort in, but you are still an individual. And please, Lord, give them the strength not to abandon themselves for a relationship. Even when it's right. When it's right. Especially when it's right.
Yeah.
Or abandon your ministry. For years, God just wouldn't let me date. He just would not let me date because I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it and not do that. I didn't know how to date and I would look Fresh Spirit and everything started going by the wayside. I said, oh no, this ain't gonna work, because you gotta learn how to, so you have to be able, and all of that again, that is growth. That is learning, that's growth, that's becoming the cake.
Okay. And so I won't say lastly, but give us strength to remember that in a relationship should add to my happiness and not become my source of happiness.
Yes. Henceforth, icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Cake is good, y'all, without icing. That's why I actually have a Be the Cake workbook coming out, workbook and journal coming out, because The whole reason I came up with that concept is because I don't really care for icing too much. I will scrape the icing off the cake,
Yeah.
but icing is supposed to enhance a cake. You wouldn't want to put peanut butter on a cake. That doesn't make a cake great. You wouldn't want to, and you definitely don't want to put mud on a cake. That would destroy the cake. So don't please give yourself, pray for the strength, or look for the strength within yourself to not get tangled up, involved, sidetracked with something, someone that is not going to, as you just said, enhance the cake. That's going to bring value, add value, give, bring you. You should be bringing each other to the next level, but you definitely don't want anything that's going to destroy what you've already built. Good, good one, Demi.
Perfect. I love it.
Anybody else got anything out there? I see yes, it is, and amen, and well stated. Y'all should share. This is good stuff. Y'all should share. Tell all your friends. We are here every Wednesday having some great conversation. And Demi and I just be talking during the week. We just be talking. We talk all the time. We talk every day. And we said something, and Give Me Strength just came out. We was like, okay, that's the topic.
Give me strength.
You know what I'm saying? That's the topic.
like my, oh Lord. So, we talk about, I was talking about the confidence thing, especially when you're online dating. So I want to ask the listeners, what story do you tell yourself when someone doesn't respond?
That's a good question.
What story do you tell yourself when someone doesn't respond?
Let's see. I don't know. I'm bad. I can't. Y'all tell us what you say to yourself. What y'all say to yourself? I'm bad. I told you just the other day. I realized, oh, it's been a couple of days and I haven't even talked to him. So I'm bad. I probably
Gabrielle said, I'm sorry. You said Gabrielle said they already got a boo.
They already got a boo. That might be it. That might be true. It may not though. More than likely, I'm good. See, that's it. That's why I tell myself I'm good. That's why I said, oh, it's been some time. I'm good. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one, Valerie. I'm good. But sometimes we do tell they're lost. Yep, that's what I say too. They're lost.
They weren't the right one.
They wasn't the right person. On to the next. Oh, y'all coming up with them now, baby.
Someone else's blessing.
They may not be interested. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm super goofy, and I'm like, I don't even think about it.
So I said, oh, they didn't call.
Right.
Too. But there were times when we did, Demi, we would say, girl, what do you think? Maybe because it's natural. And that's why we're doing dating differently. We got to learn to date differently. It could be not one thing at all. It could be, I'm tired. I was sick last week. And I didn't feel like talking. That's a good one too. Paul said, I dodged that bullet.
You know what? It's like we talk about I said, what happened to white chocolate? I was worried that he was like in an ambulance in the hospital. I just knew something like horrible happened, like he got lost overseas somewhere. Yeah. And then I think I saw him pop up like, this may be a person you know on Facebook like a year later. I was like, oh my God, he's alive. I make up wild, crazy stories.
Yes, she does. I think so. You think something happened to him? Do we need to be checking, make sure they're in the hospital? No, it didn't happen to him. Deshaun said, I just unmatched him and move on. Yep. And it's okay. It is okay. Nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with you. This is a process. And this is the process, the new process of dating differently these days. It's just a process.
It's give me strength not to take it personally.
Not to take it personal.
None of it is. I love the way you just said they gathered information, you gathered information. They got tired of gathering information.
They gathered enough information and you realize, oh, no.
Haven't we all done that? Like, I just need to take a break from all of this. I just need to take a break from all of it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see if we had any other questions that came in from the week.
Okay.
And I did miss you last week because though we had a doctor of psychology on, who is also an ordained minister and a certified relationship coach, I'm giving a little up to him since I forgot to do that. We missed having you, Conti.
Well, I always miss being here. But I didn't have a voice. I couldn't hardly talk. I was coughing every 2 seconds.
So what's one little last tidbit you want to leave with the listeners today, with the viewers?
Since we are talking about, let me think. Give me a good one. Since we're talking about, give me strength. How about give me strength to have healthy self-love? Because again, that's about not looking for someone else to fulfill the love that you should have for yourself. Not looking for someone else to help you know your worth, know your own worth. Not chasing. When you have healthy self-love, you don't chase, you don't beg, you don't rush intimacy, and you don't abandon yourself. So know what you deserve. Give yourself time to enjoy, be patient. Ooh, that's a good one. Give yourself strength. Lord, give them strength to be patient and just trust the process. That's what I'm saying.
And then I'll add to that, to give us strength to remember that our value isn't based on who chooses me or who chooses us. Our value is not based on who chooses us.
No, it is based on who you decide to choose.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right.
I love it. So next week, are we in a new month?
Girl, we will be next week. Next week, isn't that July 1st? It might be July 1st.
Yeah, we're gonna be at 6 months.
Yeah, we will be 6 months into our podcast. Whoop, 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 my cheer button. Whoop, 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 whoop.
So I'm gonna say, if this conversation spoke to you, be sure to follow Dating Differently's Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube page, follow us both on our social media platforms.
Yes. Definitely do that. And make sure you join us next week. Tell some other people, share this amazing platform that we have and the information. Also, we do have, like I said, a dating page, Dating Differently page. Send us some questions, send us some topics that you want us to discuss and share with you. And we look forward to doing this and helping you to date with clarity, helping you to move intentionally and choose with confidence. We look forward to continuing to help you love intentionally,
heal completely,
and date differently. Bye-bye, y'all.